I just stepped off a 16-hour flight, bleary-eyed and jet-lagged, but buzzing with excitement to be back in the neighborhood I'd built from scratch a decade ago. Every cul-de-sac curve, every porch railing, high tide poured my heart and savings into designing this suburban haven. I sold off the lots, kept one house for myself, and moved overseas for work. It had been 6 years since I last parked in this driveway, and my pride and joy, a 1972 matte black Chevy C10, had barely rolled onto the concrete when trouble started brewing. A woman in flip-flops, a sun visor, and what I'd call a weaponized clipboard stormed up my walk like she owned the place and the atmosphere around it. "Excuse me," she snapped before I could even climb out of the truck. "You can't park here. This is a private residence, residents only." I blinked, switched off the ignition, the engine growled low, then went silent and said, "Hi. This is my driveway. I live here." She sized me up like I was a smudge on her patio set. "Highly unlikely. The owner's never around. I know every resident here. You don't belong." I chuckled softly. Mistaken identity wasn't new to me. I've been gone a while, but I built this house. And all the others here, too, back when this was just dirt and dreams. She smirked. "Cute story. You need to leave or I'll have you trespassed." "Go ahead," I said, stepping out and stretching. That was my mistake, thinking she'd back off. But Lisa S., she later confirmed her name wasn't bluffing. She dialed 911 right there, eyeing me like I might swipe my own planters as I hauled my suitcase from the truck bed. "Suspicious male subject," she hissed into the phone. I wish I were kidding. The police arrived with a speed that felt almost apologetic. The officer stepped out, his face screaming, "Not another one of these." He asked for my ID, which I handed over calmly. I showed him the deed, the key fob, even punched in the garage code. The door rolled up like a Tory flag. He nodded, satisfied. Lisa, arms crossed behind him, shook her head like I'd faked the moon landing. "He's lying," she insisted. "That house has been empty for years. I've never seen him. He claims he built it." "HOA says that." The officer turned to her, deadpan. "Do you have any proof this property's yours?" Her jaw flapped. "I'm the HOA president." "That's proof enough." He gave her a look you'd reserve for someone describing their Cybele pet, filed a noise complaint, then tipped his head to me. "You're good, sir. Sorry for the hassle." I was halfway up my steps, suitcase in tow, when Lisa muttered, "This neighborhood used to be respectable." I could have let it slide, gone inside, showered off the jet lag. But her tone sparked something in me. I turned. "You're the HOA president, right?" She puffed up. "Yes, for 3 years." "Cool. Then you know where the developer's office was." She hesitated. "Of course. Ever go in there?" "No, it was torn down before I moved here." "So you never saw the wall?" My picture on it, big black and white shot, me with a shovel, breaking ground with the mayor. "Next to the model home mock-ups this whole place is based on." Doubt flickered in her eyes, then vanished. "I still don't believe you," she said flatly. "That's fine," I replied. "Belief's not required. Just wait for the next HOA meeting. We'll have plenty to discuss." I shut the door, savoring the silence. But I knew Lisa wasn't done. People like her don't quit, they drag everyone down with them. Next morning, a leaf blower's shriek yanked me awake. I peeked out. A guy in a neon vest was blasting my spotless driveway, Lisa smirking beside him. She locked eyes with me and mouthed, "You've been warned." I threw on a hoodie, went out barefoot, and asked the guy what was up. He nodded nervously at Lisa. "Routine maintenance," she chirped, waving a laminated sheet titled, HOA-approved driveway conditions in Comic Sans. "Your driveway violates our aesthetic cleanliness standard." I pointed at the pristine concrete. "I got home last night. It's clean." She didn't flinch. "It's not about dirt. It's presentation. Your truck left tire mark sets a bad tone." I muttered. "The neighborhood you think you own," loud enough for her to hear. She strutted off. The guy shrugged. "Sorry, man," she said, "it's mandatory," and shut off the blower. That afternoon, a metallic clank drew me outside. My mailbox was zip-tied shut with orange tape, a plastic envelope tucked inside. I sliced it open, a violation notice longer than a CVS receipt. Unauthorized vehicle parking. Unregistered property occupation. Non-compliant roofing tile color. Landscaping inconsistency. It was a bureaucratic fever dream, complete with a blurry photo of my house, my truck circled in red like I was a suspect. The return address? A P.O. box. Lisa's HOA office was a rented mailbox and a cheap printer. I laughed disbelief, not joy standing there in the sun. That evening, sipping a beer on my porch, my phone buzzed. An email from HA_president_Lisa@songgmail.com. Subject: escalating violations and immediate action required. More legal-sounding nonsense, threats of fines, and a pending investigation into my legitimacy. I nearly choked. Legitimate? I had the original blueprints, my signature on them, framed in my study. This wasn't petty Anna Marie, it was a crusade. Lisa didn't just want me gone. She wanted me to bow to her paper throne. Next morning, I crashed the monthly HOA meeting at the community center. The room hushed as I walked in. Lisa stood at a folding table, papers fanned out like a war map. "You're not on the agenda," she barked. "I'll just sit in," I said, taking a back seat. "You've been busy since I got back. Thought I'd see how it works." She turned to the group. "This NDVY duel hasn't proven residency. We're investigating his right to be here." An older man in glasses spoke up. "I remember him. Walked the site with blueprints under his arm when they built this place." A murmur spread. Lisa's face tightened. "I've done my research. He might have been involved years ago, but that doesn't mean he owns it now." I stood, slid a manila envelope onto her table, deeds, plans, a photo of me and the mayor under a Welcome to Oak Hollow banner, and said, "I'll be at the next meeting too. Maybe it's time we discuss how the HOA should serve us, not control us." I left, feeling the room shift from hostile to curious. Lisa's grip was slipping. She didn't back off. Daily notices plastered my door, absurd stuff like inappropriate lawn posture. Then a city inspector showed up, tipped off anonymously about my roof. I poured him coffee, he checked it, laughed, and said it was top-notch. "So you're that guy," he mused, eyeing my blueprints. "Good luck." I needed more than luck, he needed to fight back. I hit the city archives, dug up the original HOA charter, and found gold, a developer's clause letting me recall the board with enough signatures. Lisa had no idea. I compiled a file, receipts, stuffed with her violations, emails, and neighbor complaints. Turns out I wasn't her only VY. Tim, my lawyer who drafted the original docs, called her actions abuse of power, and drafted a cease and desist. We copied the board, the city, the county. Lisa banged on my door, fuming. "You think lawyers scare me?" "No," I said, "but they'll stop you from playing queen." I launched a neighborhood chat, shared the EVY Denke, and asked, "Who's ready to take our community back?" The response was electric. Within a week, we had signatures for an emergency meeting. Lisa tried to block it, but the HOA lawyer sided with us. At the meeting, residents aired years of grievances, fines for wind chimes, trampolines, beige doors. I showed a slideshow. My photo with the mayor, the clause, and financial records of Lisa's shady payments. She yanked the projector cord, screaming about betrayal. The lawyer confirmed her actions were unethical, maybe criminal. The vote? 91 fan tram for a new board. Lisa was out. She sold her house and left. The neighborhood bloomed, laughter, flags, kids on bikes. At a reboot, barbecue misses. Chin handed me a letter from Lisa. "You've dismantled everything I maintained." I pitted her warped VYEW of order. Later, a realtor said Lisa applied to join my next development's HOA. I added a red flag filter to the application. Her bid was denied. Spring came, and Oak Hollow thrived, not as a museum of rules, but as a real, VYing community. I'd reclaimed its soul, and that was enough.